If you live in a coastal area, you may want to know if flood and erosion might affect you. Now, Richard Benyon, our Environment Minister, told us just a few weeks ago that people just want to know three things. What's the risk? What's being done? And should I do something about it? Mr. Benyon said that a lot of money was being spent on very technical documents that didn't really answer these questions in a way understandable by ordinary people. And you know what? We agree with him. So in 3 minutes of video, we'll explain to anyone living on the Manhood Peninsula coastline what the risks are, what's being done, and if they should do something about it. Here's an outline of the Manhood Peninsula. Basically, there are two things that can affect your property here. That is flooding, where the sea floods low-lying areas of land, and erosion, that's where the sea eats into the land. So if your property is in a low-lying area or close to an eroding coast, it may be at risk. It's believed these risks will increase over time because of global warming, which could raise the sea level by a metre and increase the number of storms we get. So what does that mean for you here on the Manhood Peninsula? Follow this link and it will show you a map of flood risk. Go to pages 12 and 13, the central pages of the document, and you'll see a map like this. The blue areas on this map show where there's a 1 in 200 risk of flooding if we didn't have our sea defences. Now, without sea defences, a big storm of the type we're likely to get once every 200 years would flood those areas. But we manage this risk at the moment by having our coast defences. But you can see there's an extensive area of the peninsula that would be flooded if we didn't have those defences and we had an extreme storm. So how about erosion? Follow this link and you'll go to the North Solent SMP website where you'll see these maps. They show the management policies for different bits of our seafront, and mostly on the Manhood Peninsula where there are houses, the policy is hold the line, which means the authorities will try and keep the coastline where it is if they've got the money. And more on that later. The maps also show the indicative erosion zone, and it's indicative because it's very difficult to predict erosion. You can predict how high floodwater will go by looking at the contours on a map, but you can't predict erosion as easily. So, if your property's in an erosion or flood risk zone, you'll probably want to know more. If it isn't, just remember that if part of your town or village disappears under the sea, that's going to affect investment, jobs and well-being. It'll blight the whole area. So, we're all in this together. Most of the peninsula has coast defences, managed by the Environment Agency or Chichester District Council. Now listen up carefully, they don't have to maintain those defences. And if they abandon them and you lose your property as a result, they don't have to pay you any compensation. An important document for us in the Manhood is the Pagham to East Head Coastal Defence Strategy. Now, to get details of that strategy, go to our website, click on Policies and Legislation, then click on the top right hand side, Local Policy and Legislation, PEH-CDS, Pagham to East Head Coastal Defence Strategy. To find out what actual work is underway or has recently been done, again visit our website. The authorities haven't got a one-stop shop where you can easily find all that, but basically the only schemes going forward during 2011 are West Wittering and Medmerry, and even those are subject to confirmation. We're officially unlikely to get the money to do other work. Now, if the money dries up, the authorities would abandon the defences through what's called an exit policy, and we couldn't stop them. Should we do something? The answer is yes. We're being given responsibility to make sure the money doesn't dry up. The coastal authorities don't have enough money to keep every bit of coast defence going, and on top of this, the funding system is about to change. In the future, the government will offer partial funding for most of our coast defences. We will have to raise the rest ourselves or nothing will get done. So that's where we come in. In well-off villages like West Wittering, people have raised £650,000 towards their local defences, and the state may pay the rest, but not everyone can do that. In less well-off Selsey, they want to establish a trust which carries out development schemes and ploughs the profits back into the town's sea defences. Both these and other projects need you, I mean local people, businesses and visitors, to get involved. Take a look at our website to learn more about the issues for us on the Manhood, to find out what's going on and to contact us if you've got a query. If you're a Selsey resident, try the Save Our Selsey website. So, check out if your home is at risk, check out what's being done, and check out how you can get involved in keeping our properties and communities safe. So that's it, Mr. Benyon. If you reckon we've got the message across, we'd be really happy to do similar films for other parts of the English coastline, or help other grassroots groups to do them. We charge you a very modest fee for that, tiny compared to the cost of those enormous documents, and we plough all the surplus profit back into our peninsula's coastal management. Now how about that? Big Society in Action, we deliver a public service and apply what we earn to helping our community. For more information, please go to our website www.mpsg.org.uk.